Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Brightworks. Just about to kick off an exciting 8 versus 8 game, catching this one live here within the server rooms of the Beyond All Reasons game. And we're going to see what happens today on this Forge. Whoa, a little too close there. Forge version 1.4 map, 18 by 18 map. A little bit smaller, but you've definitely seen it before. If you haven't, well, welcome to the channel, because you probably haven't seen some of the other games I've casted. Feel free to go check those out. Maybe even consider subscribing if you'd like to see more Beyond All Reason casts. I do post these daily, or at least something daily, some Beyond All Reason content daily. And I'd be more than thrilled to have you join the Brightworks community. On our western side today, the red team. Red player for the red team here, Garbager? It's either Garbagger or Garbager. Either way, let me know how you think that should be pronounced down in the comment section below. Going to be representing the red team here in this bright, shiny red color. Very, very nice. Beautiful Armada commander there. Throwing together a early bot lab. Spawning on the eastern team. You can see, I left up the drawings here. You can see the eastern team has been very active, coordinating their plans with quite a lot of drawings here. I guess Esrez or Srez been the most drawing of them, the artistic one. But the blue team here, the blue player, rather, for the blue team, Deskinnerfy. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that username. It's like de-skinning something, but it's like the action of de-skinning is to deskinnerfy. Yeah, that image gets really dark really quickly, so I don't like that very much. We're gonna just call him Skinner. That sounds nice. Nicer, I guess. Not really. Oh well. Big cluster of ticks coming out here from Metallic Dragon. Are those the good dragons in D&D? I can never remember. The metallic dragons, the colored dragons, the chrome dragons. Not chrome dragons. There's like the chromatic ones, which are just like colors like blue and brown and you know, red and all sorts of colors. And then there's the metal dragons, which are like silver and gold and copper and stuff. I can never remember which ones are good. I know Tiamat is the ultimate evil in Beyond All Reason and Beyond All Dungeons and Dragons. There's a crossover episode. Somebody can probably let me down below. Refresh my memory of which dragons are evil. It's kind of racist, right? That just all those dragons are evil. It seems a little bit wrong, but I guess that's their nature more than it is about their like personal beliefs. Oh well. Anyway, without getting any further into that and hoping to spare myself from YouTube's wrath for incurring any sort of penalty for talking about that kind of topic. Deskinnerfy pushing up here, securing a nice little lead, making sure to do not deny Metallic Dragon, the orange player, that they're going to be up against here, the advantage of claiming this metal extractor. Metallic Dragon sees this now, pushing in to degun this most likely. Oh, he misses actually. That hurts pretty bad. So this laser turret is actually going to go up in time. Deskinnerfy now going to be able to claim this forward metal extractor and give him a huge boost. Let's talk about these metal extractors. If you look at it here, you can actually see that all of the ones down below in the big caldera area are all 4.5 metal. So huge amounts of metal for all of these. Definitely important to get as many of these up and running as possible. Send out those energy, or rather those metal construction bots to build the metal extractors. I'm piecing together, piece by piece, the chain of events that has to happen. You build the construction bot, and you tell it to go build a metal extractor. The metal extractor pulls the metal out of the ground. Looks like we had a bit of a commander trait here on the blue side of the map, so that's going to be very nice if the blue team is going to be able to claim that. Deskinnerfy's commander is pushed up too far to allow for his commander to step off the front lines and deal with that, so we're probably going to have to see some res bots. And right on cue. Here they are. Now, I would love to see them restore this before going for the reclaim, just so that no units accidentally step into the lava, or so that the reclaim bot doesn't step into the lava. But this is going to be a nice 4,000 metal profit here for the blue team. That's definitely going to be a tremendous boon to their economy. It's not like they need it, right? I mean, there's so much metal down below here that if you can just contest this area, you're going to have so much metal already. I'd love to see Skinnerfy moving a few of these units forward. He doesn't realize how undefended this area is, how exposed this area is to harassment. But it looks like we probably just don't have vision yet. Yeah, we see the ping with the radar there, but we don't actually have line of sight vision. One of the commanders by now is completely eaten up. You can see that deskinnerify. Tremendous amount of economy here. Running out of energy, actually. Having a huge energy stall. That's a problem I always run into on this map, just because there's so much metal available. But there's tons of crystals here. A ton of these energy crystals here. You can see any of these little red crystals, they have a certain amount of energy in them. There's some big ones with 500, smaller ones with 350, and absolutely tiny ones with just a couple hundred, I believe. Yeah, 200 metal. 200 energy, rather. Very, very nice. Like little AA batteries lying all over the battlefield. Very, very good for your economy's sake. I'd love to see another resbot here working on making sure that those batteries get sucked up and folded in, just so that we're not energy stalling. There's also these geothermal plants, which are extremely efficient at producing energy relative to their cost. You can't go for them straight up. You need a little bit of an energy income in order to build them. They are 13,000 energy, so you either want some batteries, or you're going to want about maybe 3 to 400 energy production in order to completely go for, or in order to start consistently building these geothermal plants. I'd say that'd probably be about right. We did find that area. We pushed forward with the pawns here and found out that this area was essentially uncontested. But by now, there's actually plenty of grunts out here for the yellow player. QWER, yellow, I'm just going to call him because that doesn't sound right. Yellow forced to just focus on building units instead of economy expansion because of the fact that most of their forward force has been completely eliminated, and they're having to rebuild from here. We're starting to see maces swapped out in favor of the pawns. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I think that's going to serve them well. I don't see the resbot. Did it die in the lava? There's a good chance it walked into this lava for some reason or another and ended up perishing. That's pretty unfortunate to lose that way. No, it did not. It's up here eating up metal. Very, very nice. Now down on the southern side, Garbager has pushed forward pretty nicely with these Rocketeers, harassing to death the static emplacements of new username. I wonder what happened there. I wonder if if this was a choice, or if this actually is the default. The default prompt was new username. Anyway, making sure to deny this area is very, very important. Of course, the less metal that your enemy has, the more your metal advantage is going to mean. Right? At the end of the day, it's more metal beats less metal. More stuff beats less stuff. There's always room for efficiency, though. Do not understate the impact of a highly efficient army. That can definitely change the tide of things here. This laser turret is looking right over another laser turret. So yeah, we're actually going to be shooting our own laser turret here for a second. Okay, finally burns through all that. Heavy laser turret is more than enough to drive back these cursory forces here from new username and from, who is this? Is this Waxnell? Yeah, Waxnell here. This is pretty interesting, because if you look at the true skill values over here, you can see we've got a lot of higher true skill people, you know, over 20s, and we've got a few noobs, and that holds true for both teams, so very, very fairly balanced here. And it does mean that we're going to have some learning experiences. Learning experiences. What are we at now? 20? Yeah. Oh, that hurts. That hurts so bad. 3,000 metal, by the way, in case you guys didn't see down there. Oh no, not that many. That many. Yeah, nearly 2,500 metal in T1 solar production on a map with 12 wind and a wind risk of 7.3. I don't know what else to say, folks. Do I need to say any more? You can say it with me. Reclaim those T1 solar panels. Do not use those. You're going to disappoint me. You're going to disappoint your team. Everyone is going to be very, very sad to look back at your base and see this. Yeah. Especially when you could go for these. I mean, this is the right idea, right? We're upgrading to advanced ones, but that means we don't need these sitting around. This contributes Just as a case of point here, this contributes 280 energy as opposed to these 4, which contribute more than the entire rest of these other ones, right? 300 energy for all of these at 1850 metal versus 2000 metal. So we could double the amount of energy production. We could produce 600 for the cost of these, right? So that's almost little under 3x the production efficiency there. Just something to keep in mind. Just something to keep in mind. Trying desperately not to degun their own geothermal plant here. These tanks are pushing forward though, and they're quite a pain. Geothermal plant does go up. Elm in quite a bit of trouble. The commander is on the retreat. That commander goes down. It's right in the middle of this base. Not their base. It's in the middle of a friendly base, which is going to be hugely, hugely painful. Somebody else's commander ruins your base. Yeah, that's grounds for an unhappy teamwork relationship. You park your commander in someone else's base and it gets blown up, they're not going to be happy about it. A lot of grunts and mesas and all sorts of units put up in the front line here. Blue doing a tremendous job of holding this. We've got T2 up already and we're working on an advanced geothermal plant. Always very nice to see these, but let's take a look at that explosive radius. Yeah, that's well within all of this base and everything. So if this goes up in smoke, it's actually going to damage a lot of the stuff back here. By the way, if you want to look at the explosive radius of something, you just select it, hit spacebar, and then X. X as in the 2 lines that you would use to cross something out. What's an X word? Man, can't X-ray? It's not really a word that barely works. Well, hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. I guess I could draw one. That shape. You see one of those. That's the shape you're looking for. I'm trying to think back to like kindergarten, you know, like the very first alphabet lesson I ever had when they would put those books out, right? The little picture books. Like, this is the alphabet. What did it put for X? It was xylophone, wasn't it? See, that's a terrible, terrible word for X because xylophone starts with a Z sound, a Z sound. Yeah, just really horrible. You can restore land, by the way, in case anybody's curious. You can select your builder, and that's what this restore button is. You can click that and then select an area, a little circular area, and it will actually bring the land back up to its normal height. Really important for maps like this where terrain deformation can actually cause a lot of problems. Just something to keep in mind. A little bit of pushback here. Looks like for the most part all of these forces were pushed away, but this is just artillery. Yeah, I'd love to see these tanks moving forward. That's just artillery. You can deal with that. Pardon me there, I had to clear my throat for a second. Hounds being quite a nuisance up north here. And I'm actually a little bit worried for new username. They don't quite realize exactly how surrounded their entire unit composition has become. These hounds are pushing forward at a pretty devastating speed here. They find these heavy laser turrets, they find these artillery pieces back here. These hounds are actually wrapping behind, and they're going to find the commander soon enough. The commander is under quite a lot of fire. Doesn't realize the commander actually goes up. Now, there was a commander that was blown up here. It looks like the light pink commander, the salmon commander. The farmed salmon commander? I didn't see a comment. Didn't see a comment reaffirming whether that was correct or not. I think it's the farmed salmon commander. In case you're wondering, I got a comment a couple videos back where I was talking about a light salmon and a dark salmon, and somebody pointed out, apparently they are Alaskan, he pointed out that farmed salmon and fresh caught salmon have different shades of flesh. So apparently that's the technical term for it, and I quite like that. Incisors here are being absolutely blown apart by these hounds. Yep, don't stand a chance. Although I would love to see these hounds put in their alternate firing mode, the Gauss cannon mode. It's always a great way to deal with those really fast light units. Some Tigers have actually broken the front lines here. Managed to push on through to the rear economies of yellow. And yeah, some of the Fiends are going down, which is rapidly becoming a problem here. Go for the energy converters. If you shoot the energy converters, they're going to explode everything else around here. Yep, nice. There we go, and we see all the build power now shut off completely. So that's going to be quite a pain. We're going to have to see a lot of new construction turrets built up here. These geothermal plants are, of course, the weakness of playing in this middle area. If these explode, everything in this radius goes boom. Both of these players are actively invested in protecting each other, because if either one of them falls, that is a really bad day. Deskinnerify, it's just such a weird name. Deskinnerify has broken the front lines here, though. Broken this top player. I'm not sure who it was. It looks like it was orange. Or no, that's orange up there. I'm not sure which player this was that started right here, but whoever it was. Or maybe there was no player that started there. Either way, this base has been overrun by the forces over here. We see a bunch of these artillery vehicles, which can put out a tremendous amount of firepower. They're relatively cheap, too. I would definitely recommend these. They're a great option. 280 metal for a crazy high damage unit. Super low health, but that shouldn't really be a problem. They should never really be on the front lines anyway. These welders are perfectly in position here, and Yellow's base is overrun. And like a Christmas tree, the entire middle of the map is overwhelmed, and they decide to call it right there. I think that's the perfect time to call it, with your main players down and out. I think it was only a matter of time before the blue team swept through and won the game. A decisive push here by blue with those lightning tanks, and an excellent job following up in the rear with these super powerful Quaker artillery vehicles from our purple player here, Srez, destroying enemy units and defenses, most likely from that last hit right there, right? Let's take a look at the graphs here. Yeah, we can see red and light blue actually scaling quite nicely. Blue was this Waxnail player over here. Yeah, doing red and light blue doing a very, very good job of scaling, but red just couldn't keep up with the other economies that were building for the blue team here. Very, very nice. We'll take a look at the statistics here. Yeah, very good. And I hope you all enjoyed watching. I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.